Hi, my name is Rhiannon Kerwood, and I'm here to talk today about my profession and disposition and what I believe is necessary for a teacher candidate. So thank you so much for listening, and I will get started. So a lot has changed over the 2 years that I have experience as a master's student and still more as a student teacher. My philosophy for teaching, I feel, has rounded, and I feel there are a lot of points and dispositions that are valuable and important for a teacher to have. I mean, there are just so many of them, but I'm going to go down to just a few. In my philosophy, I believe in being a lifelong learner. It's imperative to being an effective and passionate teacher. Burnout comes for a lot of teachers, and one of the best ways to keep it at bay is to continually grow and learn. And I believe to test new strategies and to gain new experiences. I believe there is value in doing the same units yearly so that you know what's going on and you can kind of plan. But I think putting in some new material and using new strategies to teach those and really individualizing those to your students is definitely the way to continue to be new and to continue to be learning. These experiences can be in the form of like maybe mentoring a newer teacher or learning strategies for reaching students in broken homes or building a safe space in our class for diversity or learning to integrate subjects to create a more versatile or engaging experience for students. I feel that this journey in student teaching and in this entire master's program has given me so many of these experiences. I was placed in a position as a student teacher to reach students who struggled with severe behavior problems and who were awaiting developmental referrals. And I believe it made me a better teacher because I was forced into learning how to interact with them and learning how to build a relationship with a child like this and learning how to really differentiate to their needs and really be able to kind of read where they are emotionally and know when to step back and give them their space and know when to guide them through the process of their emotions and kind of scaffold them to be able to express them in a more positive way. Another important aspect apart from, I think, being a lifelong learner is, in my philosophy, is leadership. Once we gain all this knowledge and experience, I believe it's an incredibly rewarding and very humbling thing to be able to lead and guide others, whether it be students, instructional assistants, or other teachers. In my student teaching, while I was being mentored by a veteran teacher, I was also placed in the position to provide assistance to two very new teachers who were struggling with their first year. It was a very humbling experience to learn to work together, to collaborate, validate their opinions and frustrations, and work together to problem solve and plan for each individual student. It was wonderful. We collaborated on everything and met daily to support one another. And even though I was in the position to kind of lead them, I felt we were a very cohesive and strong team together because we respected one another, we participated, we supported each other, and because of this unique and I feel invaluable experience, I have found like a deep passion for nurturing and helping other teachers. In this experience, I've learned that teaching is definitely not an easy road, but we can do it together and we can lighten the burden for each other. The final ingredient to my philosophy is being a servant to others. And this requires patience and flexibility because we don't know what times we're going to be called on to serve others and in what respects. During my student teaching, I was switched from one preschool class where it was so well organized and the children were so mild that I felt kind of more as a passive observer. I was able to obviously get in there and talk with them and teach them and all those things, but it kind of just felt very like relaxed and almost like easy. And I was switched from that classroom because of COVID into a very chaotic and struggling class that required me to kind of step up and take the load off of the others by planning and organizing the classroom so that those new teachers could kind of have a break and breathe and collect themselves and then be able to come back and retake that load. So I think definitely being a servant to others is incredibly important, especially when it comes to children. I mean, we are giving them respect, but we're also serving them. We're not just leading them. And their families, being able to meet with them whenever they need it and call them and tell them that, that how well their child is doing, and then also being able to tell them the things that they're working on, and valuing their opinions and talking with them about their values and their beliefs and their dreams for their child. I believe that's incredibly important, but that doing so in a way of wanting to serve them, not wanting to lead them. I'm almost finished. Thank you. One very valuable element to my student teaching, although it hasn't been as imperative as others, was technology. Technology is incredible and can be used in a variety of ways with all of these different apps that we have, like Study Island, Flipgrid, Star Reading, to really help the students have individualized learning experiences. That doesn't take a lot of outside time from the teacher as well. So it's to give them those opportunities to grow, and these apps and these different technology apps, all of these wonderful things, they grow with them as they learn. So as the student learns and masters content, then it's able to kind of rise to their needs. And it also provides us teachers with an incredible amount of data on these students to be able to see exactly what they are struggling with and exactly where we can provide support, either via small groups or by teaching an entire lesson for the class. Technology is also excellent for students who need to communicate. That's been a very interesting part of my student teaching. I have one student, well, in my previous placement, who was nonverbal. And it was just that he had a language delay, and he could definitely understand you, and you could tell him to, go to X, Y, and Z, do things, and he would be there and he would interact with the read alouds and things, but he just struggled with that expressive language. So we're writing like a communication board for him where he could point to different things, really helped him, especially with behavior. So definitely being able to use that to communicate, but also providing translations for students who are learning English, but also need to be able to master those concepts, like in math, where it can be so fine. And those students really need that extra, they need that in their home language. So being able to provide that for them can really help them learn and grow. And then finally, I believe our Christian worldview does have a place in the classroom, even though society might tell us it doesn't. And I believe in my classroom, it has a place definitely in my personal teaching life. I believe in praying for our students before they even enter the classroom, and bringing their home lives up to God, because they have so many things that they're going through. I also believe prayer can play an important part in the reflection process by bringing concerns of the day and struggles and challenges and things that we were learning through to God before we leave the classroom. I definitely feel refreshed when I do that, and I believe that I serve the students better when I'm able to kind of take all of this stress that I hold and give it somewhere else. I also believe in treating them the way that God sees them in the classroom. They are His children, whether they believe in Him or not. And with patience, we need to give them patience and respect and that kindness and that warmth, and providing them with the positive attention and encouragement that they need to kind of feel accepted and represented in the classroom, that they're important, that it wouldn't be the same place without them. And I believe that my Christian worldview also encourages me to be compassionate and a warm teacher. I definitely believe in being firm, being having a cohesive and strong management plan, but it also needs to come from a place of service and a place of compassion and warmth. And I feel my education has also helped me to reinforce this view by reminding me of like developmentally appropriate practices, as well as realizing that student behavior is often a reflection of their development, and it's typically age appropriate. And that kind of my Christian worldview, I feel, helps me to kind of make those things less personal, and it causes me to think in a different way. I'm also excited for the growth that is happening in my own life over student teaching, as well as over the 2 years of this program, and I'm excited for what the future holds. I'm looking forward to serving and meeting and learning as a future educator. Thank you so much for your time.